Well,
Terence Crawford just stunned the boxing world by calling out Canelo Alvarez in a live interview, and nobody saw it coming. For months, fans assumed Crawford was waiting on Jermell Charlo or maybe a Spence rematch, but Bud had bigger plans. After months of subtle call-outs, he finally locked in a mega fight with Canelo, and during a recent interview, Crawford shut down every critic and expert who underestimated him. While most fighters tiptoe around Canelo like he's boxing's final boss, Crawford stepped into the spotlight and said, "I want him. I'm ready." As for size, he doesn't care. Let's break down what Bud had to say.
I'm going with Terence Crawford. You know, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. You know, it ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I'm not betting against Terence Crawford against nobody right now. You got to show me that you can beat him.
Terence Crawford isn't just walking into this fight with confidence. He's strutting in like he already knows the ending. He even said he would have taken down a prime Manny Pacquiao if they had fought. That's not just confidence. That's legacy talk.
I feel like I got the speed over Canelo. I got the reach over him. He might got the size, the power. I got the better skills, boxing skills.
Would it be more of a cat and mouse? The reality is Canelo does put people out. From Kirkland to Amir Khan to just...
Don't do
Obviously, he's talking about Amir Khan.
I'm just saying, man.
No, but he's not. Kovalev.
Kovalev
We have to
was
respect
older.
the power of Canelo.
He does.
Billy
he
Joe.
does. Don't get me wrong. He does have a lot of power. But all those guys that you named is not as skillful as me. I'm sorry. No disrespect to none of those fighters. The skill level is night and day.
So how do you see a fight with Canelo, though?
Tough fight. Canelo is a great fighter. Like, I always had respect for Canelo, but I just believe in my skills. The fact that people doubt me, it just fueled me even more. Try to get the fight even more. And I'm watching them, I'm like, man, I can beat this dude. I've been fighting people bigger than me all my life, and I always came out on top. You gonna get hit. It's a fight. He gonna get hit too.
If Bud pulls this off, if he really beats Canelo, we could be looking at the greatest boxer of this generation. Undisputed at 140. Undisputed at 147. Now going after the undisputed king at 168. This isn't just ambition. This is calculated. Greatness in motion. And that's why fans respect Bud. He's not faking beef on Twitter. He's not ducking fights. He's chasing legacy every step of the way.
Along my career, I've been criticized and people have taken credit away from me just to try to diminish my accomplishments just off of pure hate. So what would they be able to say with me going up 2 weight classes? If Canelo become undisputed again and I beat Canelo, what could they say? They'll say something, but what
They're gonna find something, you know that.
But what can they really say?
Right.
You know?
You think Crawford didn't notice Canelo took Jermell Charlo instead of David Benavidez or a Bivol rematch? Bud's too sharp not to catch that. By saying, "Let's make it happen," Crawford killed the narrative that he's just talking. He wants the smoke. If Canelo doesn't match that energy, fans will say it loud. Crawford is real. Canelo is safe.
If I was easy work, you would take all that money that he's offering you. But yet and still, he want $200 million for Benavidez, and he want $150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to his legacy, because it would be crazy for a guy that started at 135 to come all the way up to 168, your weight, no catch weight, no none of that, and dethrone you. So, he got that in the back of his head. This guy, for one, he's tough.
Meanwhile, Crawford's undefeated streak and dominance have fans convinced he might shock the world again. Bud said it himself. Canelo brings the money, but he's not just chasing the bag. He wants legacy. And that's a subtle jab because, let's be real, people have been questioning whether Canelo's been chasing cash more than belts lately.
Tonight, Terence Crawford was with Turkey Al-Sheikh at the other event across town. Put out an open challenge to you on the internet with Turkey Al-Sheikh calling you out. What's your response to Terence Crawford's call out tonight?
No comments. Bud Crawford.
Yeah.
Just won his debut at 154. Said if the money's right, we'll fight. Everybody wants that fight. What do you feel about that matchup? People saying the weight, all this stuff. How do you feel about that?
You know, everybody wants to fight me. Everybody calling me out and everything. And you know, like I say, I have nothing to win with Crawford. No, 2-3 weights class less than me. But if the money is right, why not? Right? Why not? But look, I'm focused 100% on Berlanga. I know I have a challenge in front. I never overlooking any fighter. So I'm focused 100% in this, and then we'll see.
Canelo's recent performance against William Skull didn't help. The fight was slow, underwhelming, and left fans unimpressed.
When I say I don't want to fight Mexican, it's because I represent Mexico. And that's why. But I don't care. I fight anybody. And I fight all my entire life, anybody. What do you think? I don't want to fight with Juan Mexico or Benavides. But look, I hear his dad talking a lot of shit. But look, he's accomplished nothing. One single champion, Anthony Dirrell. Please, don't disrespect myself. Please, guys.
Even Jake Paul chimed in during his Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. press conference, claiming Canelo is past his prime and boldly saying, "I would have beaten Canelo." Wild take, sure, but it shows how divided the boxing world is. And let's not forget, Canelo has historically struggled against fast, intelligent boxers. Mayweather outclassed him, Bivol neutralized him, even Lara gave him trouble. If Crawford can bring his speed and stamina to 168, we're looking at a true 50-50 fight. The boxing world is split down the middle. Experts, fighters, and hardcore fans are all torn on who takes this one. Some say Canelo's size and strength will be too much. Others are betting on Bud's precision and elite fight IQ.
I love being there, fighting, and give the fans what they want, a fight. And, you know, I enjoy what I do, and I still love boxing, and you can see tonight.
And lastly, for me, tonight, Terence Crawford was with Turkey Al-Sheikh at the other event across town. Put out an open challenge to you on the internet with Turkey Al-Sheikh calling you out. What's your response to Terence Crawford's call out tonight?
No comment.
Let's talk matchup. Who's really got the edge? Canelo's got the power. He's a thick, strong 168-pounder with a granite chin. His body shots break ribs. He pressures you until you fold. But Crawford? He's elusive, slick, and switches. Stances mid-combo. Southpaw or orthodox, it doesn't matter. He sets traps, adapts like a computer, and when he smells blood, he ends it.
He adjusts like a damn computer, and when he smells blood, he finishes dudes with no hesitation.
I really don't have no prediction. I think it's going to be a great fight. I think Charlo's going to come to fight. I think Canelo's going to come to fight, and it's going to give a fun, fan-friendly fight. May the best man win.
If Canelo takes this fight and wins, his legacy is solidified. But if he ducks Bud again, the internet's going to call him a cherry picker forever. Signing the contract was the only option.
I think Bud gonna cook Canelo. I think he's gonna cook him. I think, Canelo a hell of a fighter, but I think Bud just got all the tools to beat him.
You don't think the weight difference is gonna be too big of an advantage?
I think y'all make that something, in certain fights,
Boxing makes it something, not us.
like if this was like a Benavidez, he's actually a lot bigger than Bud, so that would like apply. But I feel like with Canelo, he's like physically kind of big, but like height wise, he's kind of small. So
I don't think so, no.
Corey, how you got a decision established? Because Brandon and Boozy think that Bud actually might stop.
Me and Boozy talked about that. That's crazy. Me and him got on the phone, talked about it, but I think that's possible. Like, I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but I think it's a possibility if Canelo gets to acting out of line and not understanding that Bud could crack too. So.
And what'd you think of Canelo over the weekend? Did that look like the same type of Canelo you fought a few years ago? And yeah, what'd you think of that?
No, I don't think it's the same Canelo. Not quite, but also I kind of figured it was going to be like that, honestly. You know, I heard Canelo say in the interview, like, I don't really like fighting guys who move around that much like that. And William Skull being a Cuban fighter, like, I knew he was going to do that. And so was curious to see, you know, how Canelo would handle that. And, you know, he kept the ring off well, but that guy just, I feel like he didn't really want no part. And it makes for not as appetizing fight, but still got that fight in September with him and Crawford, so we'll see.
With him getting older, does that only, you know, feel like you increase your chance that you could beat him in a rematch, Canelo?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
What about Crawford?
As soon as we fought, the next day, I'm like, man, if we fight again, I'm gonna beat him. Yeah, you know, that's just that's how I feel. You know, I feel like, okay, a few minor adjustments. It's all done.
What about Crawford? Do you think his chances got better, at least the way how you were seeing things heading into the last fight with him and Skull?
I think it's a stylistic matchup, you know, and William Skull don't fight nothing like Terence Crawford. So we're not going to see the same type of fight come September. I think we're going to see a great fight, real good fight.
You and Terence have always had like a good relationship, but if he makes Canelo come off the titles, is he on your radar then in the division?
Yeah, I mean, all the top super middleweights are on my radar, you know. I want to face the best, and you know, a lot of fighters say that, but I don't feel like a lot of them have shown and proved that. I feel like I've shown and proved that, so I want to face the best.
Crawford brings speed, footwork, timing, ring IQ, and knockout power. He's like a hybrid of Mayweather and Pacquiao, but with a mean streak.
If you're going to call anyone who says that Canelo wins a hater, will say that he's too big and he's too young, you know, in his prime age, and Crawford is a bit over the hill for Canelo and stuff like that. All you need to do is listen to Crawford.
Nah, I would never think me and Canelo fight. He's 168, 175, and I'm just 147, so.
Yeah, everybody keeps bringing up Canelo. I think that's weird.
We can do something at a catch weight, 160 or something.
What's the highest you could fight at, realistically?
I think 154 will be my max, given the age. I'm about to be 36 years old.
Terence Bud Crawford was responding to people who thought he had a chance. He said, I appreciate it, but we'll never fight. For everybody who thought he has a chance, he was telling him, I don't. Now, I want all you Bud buddies to say Crawford's a hater.
I'm about to be a two-time undisputed fighter, so that's all about.
You mentioned the Cuban style up there. What other challenges does Skull present to you, though?
Oh, he's a very skillful fighter. He's have a lot of talent, and but you know, I've been in the with all kind of the styles, so I can adapt myself to any fighter, and I'm ready for me.
But let's be real. Crawford's resume speaks volumes. He's cleaned out divisions, collected belts like Pokemon badges, and made elite fighters look like rookies. The size excuse? That's dead now. Bud is moving up 2 divisions just to make this fight happen. That's how badly he wants it. And while Canelo's made history and fought big names, he hasn't faced a truly dangerous threat since Bivol, and we all saw how that went. Let's be honest. Canelo's been low-key dodging the Crawford smoke for years. Fans saw it. Every time Bud's name came up, Canelo dropped the same lines. He's too small. He's not in my weight class. That fight doesn't make sense. Sure, those excuses worked for a while.
Terence Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. Who y'all got?
Crawford's going up 2 weight classes, bro. He's going to be too slow. He got to be too slow.
Yeah, he's 2 weight class heavy. I just hope that Crawford is not overdoing himself with the weight, and he underestimated because he never got hit from somebody like Canelo.
Puerto Ricans be crazy, man. They fight just like Mexicans. They get down.
So I got a question. I got a question for him. Now, if Terence Bud Crawford was here right now and you was to say that to you,
honestly, I love Terence Crawford. I love Canelo. I'm Mexican, so you know I gotta go for a Mexican.
Punch me ball, man. Yeah, 'cause he's looking at me right now.
Yeah, man, he's over here. He picked Canelo. He picked Canelo over you, man.
I'm a fan, my brother. Man, nah, but you feel me, my brother? I'm Mexican, so can I take a picture with you, my brother?
But Crawford shut all of that down in the same interview. He's tired of people using size as an excuse to shield Canelo. People always say he's too big, too strong, Crawford said. But how many fighters you know keep saying that? And I'm still fighting naturally bigger guys? Remember what he did to Errol Spence? He dismantled him like a sparring partner, and Spence was supposed to be the bigger, stronger man. If Crawford can make Spence look like an amateur, why wouldn't he believe he can do the same to Canelo? And now, it's happening faster than anyone expected. Canelo versus Crawford is officially locked in for September 13th. Tickets are on sale. This once dream matchup is now reality. It was originally set for September 12 at Allegiant Stadium in Vegas. But due to a college football scheduling conflict, the venue had to change. No matter, Turki Al-Sheikh stepped in and made sure the fight happened. It's now part of Riyadh Season's blockbuster PPV lineup. Cities like Vegas, LA, and NYC are all vying to host it. Whether it lands in the US or returns to Saudi Arabia, one thing is clear: Turkey made this fight real, and it's now the most talked about boxing event of the year. DAZN will stream it exclusively. This isn't just a fight, it's history.
I don't think Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia 2 is a big fight.
I was gonna ask you about that.
I don't think that's a big fight. I don't think Canelo Crawford's a big fight.
No?
I think I think Canelo Benavidez is a big fight.
I think that's huge.
I don't think a dude moving up 3 weight divisions to go fight a dude that's twice his size, I know he looked bigger than him the other day, but I mean, obviously, regardless, I don't think that's not making a big fight.
What is making a big fight? Like, how do you make a big fight?
You take the best person in one weight division, you put another person in the weight division, make a big fight, or you get 2 stars that are entertaining as hell and you make a big fight like that.
Let's not pretend people haven't been dismissing this fight for years. Crawford's too small. Canelo's too powerful. The weight difference is too much. We've heard it all.
Gervonta Davis say you need the money.
Shit.
What's going on with you and Gervonta?
If I'm a boxer, he a boxer, you a boxer, we all need the money.
I ain't doing it for free.
Thank you.
What if Gervonta said, hey, I'll come up to 154?
Crawford made it clear. He's been fighting bigger guys his whole career. Welterweights, super welterweights, junior middleweights. His resume is stacked with wins over fighters who were supposedly too big and too strong. So when asked about fighting Canelo, he didn't blink. If we can make that fight happen, of course I'll take it, Crawford said. Canelo's a future Hall of Famer, a great fighter, and I want to fight the best. That's the kind of challenge that excites me. That's not just talk. That's a man planting his flag on the mountain and daring Canelo to climb it.